left Ghana somewhere around 1989 to Germany for studies. And when I finished my studies, I worked with the German industry for about 16 years. I didn't want to come. I'm the industrial type. It's just by coincidence I've landed in academia. During our studies, there were other people who were lecturers at the KNUST, and they used to come for visits, and they were encouraging me to come. One of my best friend was one of them. He was with the food science, and he was able to convince me to return, to come and help. So I thought about it, and I realized that during my so many years working with the industry, I was able to design a lot of product for them. So I asked myself, why don't I return and then see how I can impact this knowledge to my people down there. So I returned back to see what I can do for my people. So I came to Ghana 2014, and then through my friends I landed in KNUST, obviously because it's the engineering university, or the best engineering university we have in Ghana here. So I came to the Faculty of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and here I am as a senior lecturer lecturing in different electronics courses. So what my aim actually, like I said, I'm the industrial type, and I realized what is missing in Africa is that we know the theory too much, but the application of the theory is where we are lacking. And from my experience I had from the industry, I know how we can translate the theory into practice. So I'm here to stress more on the need to do hands-on instead of, let's say, reading books and chewing theories and not knowing what it can be used for. So I take the students through looking at the theory and then translating it into the real world, thinking about what we can use the theory to do. The big project I'm currently working on is for energy harvesting. I have some material called piezoelectric material. If you strike it, it will exhibit charges. So we want to harvest the charges and then use it to power the lighting system on campus free. So we are going to dig the ground and then put the material in there, and the cars will drive through. As they drive through, they set the atoms in motion. So we harvest the charges with what I call the elephant capacitors. We are going to design capacitors, very big ones, to store them in the daytime. So in the night, where the cars will not pass frequently like the day, then we discharge the capacitors to light up all the street system, the lighting system we have on campus. So that is basically what is my target at the moment, aside doing small things for the students. So I've designed a lot of projects with the students. I sit with the students and then we look at situations or conditions. It could be around campus or outside campus. So we look at challenges in small companies and then we provide solutions to them. One of the projects we did is intelligent energy management system. For example, the company was complaining about paying too much for electricity bill. So we decided to do some automation for the gadgets so that the worker does not need to be turning off the lights. As soon as we detect occupancy in the room, we turn on the light and the fan or the aircon. If nobody is there, we turn everything off. So we realized that at the end of the month, the usage or the bill went down. So these are some of the mini projects we do. Or on campus, we also design something called campus ride. There are a lot of people who move their car from the hostels to the university, and they will be sitting there alone, or they want to go to Accra, they will go alone, and they will pay for the fuel alone. So we design some system, management system or app, where the person can say that, oh, I'll be going to Accra on Sunday, and I'm alone, so I have about 4 spaces. I can pick somebody along, or you can also log in and then show where they should pick you. So the person can stand. This one is quite different from what Uber and Co are doing. This one we have is like in the taxi form, but we use all the seats. I can book, it's a 5-seater car, and I can say that, okay, you are going to Accra, I'm standing at Konongo, so pick me 9 a.m. at Konongo. So that is another app we developed for the university community. We did something for the campus community. When you are coming with your car, you want to know where there is a parking space, because we have different parking lots. Okay, so maybe in engineering, there is a space. At the medical college, there's no space. Business school, there's space, or there's no space. So when you enter the university, there's a big board to show you where there are parking slots and where it is full. So when you are coming, you know, okay, if I'm going to business school, I cannot park there because every space is occupied, or there are available spaces. Then you can take a decision. So parking lot management, intelligent parking lot management. So that is mainly what I've been doing with the students. I want them to have real solution to real problems, and by so doing, they tend to understand what engineering is about. It's not about chewing formulas and not applying it. I want them to have the feel, because myself, I'm the industrial person, so I want them to start using their hands and then applying the theory to provide solution. And I can see the response. The response is good. They are beginning to like it. The problems we have, or the challenges we have, is getting the component, or producing the final product. Because we can design the prototype, we test, and everything works fine. But moving from there to the market or final product, that is where we are having challenges, for lack of money or lack of industry to manufacture the product. So I would say it's a big challenge, and that is also one of the shock that I have since my return. When I was returning, I thought there were some basic things I could get, or that would help me perform. But I realized that we don't have the tools, the machines. The theory there is the same everywhere, whether Germany, America, or anywhere. The theory is the same. Holmes' law will not change, it will be the same. But if you want to apply it to get something out of it, that is what Africa we need to work on. So maybe we need leaders to see that we can do something and then invest in the right position. Then I think we can go somewhere. It's, like I said, our problem, our challenge, because the stages in the development is that first you design a prototype. So if the prototype is working, you need to do the real thing. And that is where most of the time we stop. So what I'm doing is like recycle the tools or the component I use for the first prototype. I will remove them again to use it for the second. So I don't get the product done for lack of funds. You see, and that is what we should tackle. As soon as we do a project and everybody can attest to it that it's working, it's a good idea, We want somebody to assist so that it will be a marketable product. But at the moment, we don't have it. We don't have it in the university. We don't have help from outside coming. So it's like we showcase it at the end of the year when the students are graduating or the family comes around. We just showcase what we've done, and then we'll remove them back for the next project. That is the program. So when I came, I realized, okay, but I also did something here before I left. But I realized the teaching system is different. Although the theories are the same, the method of their teaching. When I left here, I realized I can memorize things very fast. But I went there, and then they mentioned something which I'm also applying here. They said the Bloom's taxonomy of education. So instead of just remembering that alone, it's not okay. So all the students who have been to my class, they will attest to the fact that I used to say that there is something called schooling and there is education. So if I just remember a chew a pour, then what I've done is schooling. So anytime they come to my class, the first thing I tell them is we are going to use education. So the method I learned from there, that is what I'm going to apply. So first, we need to remember. If we can remember formulas, we need to understand the formulas. So that's the second level of the taxonomy. We need to understand. And if we can understand, we need to apply that knowledge. So the third level is the application of the knowledge. And then if we are able to apply, we should be in a position to do analysis. Look at it and analyze what can I do, how can I improve it. So after the analysis, we need to do some evaluation of the whole thing. Look at the big picture. How did it go? And what can we do for future? And if we put all together, you will see that we are creative. And if we are creative, we can say that we are educated. That is what I got from Germany, and that is what I want to give to the students. What I tell every student during my first lecture is that I'm going to educate them instead of schooling, and then explain to them what is the difference between schooling and education. So sometimes I will just write an expression on the board and ask them if they remember. Let's say a law, Holmes law, then they all will remember. You ask them the Holmes law, they will tell you V is equal to IR. They are all happy. That is not enough. So now we want to look at the V is equal to IR, what we can do with the I, what we can do with the R, what we can do with the V. So because I'm myself more industrial-like than academic person, I force the students to think outside the box to make sure that whatever they learned, they can have an application for it. So that is mainly what I'm trying to do with the students, and they are beginning to like it. Initially, there are initial difficulties because they were just looking at the marks, but later, when they get to know that, after all, that is the best way we should go, they adjust, and we are making progress. Those who don't want to do, no matter what I do, they will not do, but a lot of them are picking it, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing at the moment, because we have people with the brain naturally. The theory, we don't have any problem at all, but the practical part is what is lacking. So my vision, or what I intend doing, is to model them such that they will enjoy the practical aspects, and then they can find solution to our numerous problems we have on this continent. Yeah, so I will advise that before you take the decision to come finally, you pay visit, you liaise with somebody, you have a contact, you come for a visit, so that you have some short stay to see how the situation is. So if you get used to that, then you come finally. I would not advise anybody to pack everything and come at once, but you come for 1 month vacation, you live with somebody who can host you, take you around. Because anytime you return and you have somebody that can, let's say a mentor, then your stay will be easier than when you come and fall in like you don't know anybody and you don't know the system. Because the system, I must say, is totally different. There are certain things when you want to do, you need assistance of the people who are in the system already. So our advice, if you are ready to come, you first come for a visit, have contact with people who are already there and take advice from them. I welcome anybody who have the wish to come back and help, but our advice, you come for a visit first, you contact somebody, come and study the system, let the person explain the difficulties for you before you pack your things and come finally. So I will not advise anybody to just jumpstart, come with everything. If you did that, chances are you may have cultural shock and you run away. But if you take your time and you have a mentor, a friend who will guide you step by step, you will find your bearings and then you can stay back. Yeah, I think Africa can only solve its problems when we start from the way we train people in our education. We have to change the orientation, the direction. We don't have to let our students or our children be interested in scoring higher marks alone and then leaving it that. We should encourage them to have an understanding of whatever we teach them and think about possible applications. And I will say that we should always look at the basic things than talking about state of the art. State of the art things is what is serving Africa. Instead of taking time to plan something from the beginning, we will go and take high tech, we put it somewhere without the foundation and later it will collapse. So at the end of some few years, we realize that the high tech has not helped us. So I would say Africa should stand their development, should start from the ground up. We should move from the basics, start from education, change the minds of our children, let them have appreciation of being creative and not of scoring higher marks just for marks' sake, and then they don't know what the marks can do for them. So that is what I can say.